those of you who have electronic devices, please turn them off. And there should be no selling, exchanging of money or any goods at this time.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسوله ورسول الله. We witness openly, publicly, verbally, of our own free will that there is nothing that deserves worship except Allah, that He is one, that He is single, unique, and alone, that He has no family, no offspring, no relatives. We witness, secondly, that first, that Muhammad is the servant of Allah, and secondly, that he is the messenger of Allah. Dear believers, once again, we are participating in the greatest event of the week for Muslim. This is no small thing. This is a big thing. And from last Friday to this Friday, many Muslim has passed. Last Friday was actually their last Jummah. And we should take this very seriously. We ask Allah to bless our Jummah day. We ask Him to bless our Jummah Salat, and that He accept it, and that the information given in the khutbah, that it be helpful and useful. We ask Allah always to guide our heart, to guide our mind, our words, our tongue, and bless us only to say what is needed. This first half of the khutbah, we always deal with the glorification of Allah, His attributes, His qualities, the things that make Him different than his creation. And one of those qualities of Allah is the name As-Samad. This is a very powerful attribute. It's only used in the Quran one time, and that is the Surah 112. Allahu Samad. Scholar says that it has so many shades of meaning, and we will only give you 5 of those shades of meaning to give you some idea. As most of us should know by now, it is impossible to translate the Quran into any language. We can only give you an idea. This name suggests the one that is unaffected. You cannot affect Allah. He's unchanged, as he mentioned in the Quran. In no way will you find any change in the Sunnah of Allah. His ways never change. We change, the weather change, the season change, the day change, tonight, etc. But he does not change. He is without needs. And this really is a good meaning, because when you understand something that needs something, right away you know that can't be God. Care what it is. Oh, I worship the cow. Does the cow need something? I see. So the one that is without needs and the one that is self-sufficient, and this is important for Muslims to understand, Allah does not need us to believe in him. He does not need us to worship or to pray to him. He does not need us to give charity to him, for he owns everything. And he does not need us to fast. As we go down the list, we see whatever we do on his behalf, for his sake, it benefits the one that's doing it directly. They have did research and studies in countries where these people do these things, believe in God, pray. They said that society is a better society than those who don't do that. But Allah does not benefit directly from any of our action. And sometimes we can get foolish. Something happened in our life that hurt us so bad. You know, you lost your son or you lost the baby at birth. You're so upset. I'm not going to pray to Allah no more. I'm not going to worship him anymore. Well, you can take that position, but you can't hurt Allah. And another one, he is sufficient, and we say this sometimes, Allah is sufficient. He is sufficient, and he is independent. Everything in the creation depends upon him. All human being depends upon him, but he does not depend upon anything. We're saying this in light of yesterday, so-called Independent Day, July the 4th, or the 4th of July. We say so-called because any independence from any human being is limited. It's only to a certain degree. Allah, all the degrees, 100%, 1,000%, never need anything. And this celebration yesterday was observing in a celebration of Nation Day. Nation Day means the day that America became a nation. 248-year birthday, America birthday, yesterday. And what is she celebrating? The independence from England or Great Britain. That was nation before America, already so-called independent. And the first of those countries that was already independent was Morocco. And this was the first country that congratulated America on her independence. A Muslim country, the first one to congratulate her. And the king or the ruler at that time was Muhammad ibn Abdullah. He congratulated America on her independence. But technically, we are not independent. We can stand up and start from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. Your clothes, your shirt came from this country, your pants came from this country, your sock came from this country, your shorts came from another country. We can easily see we cannot exist without getting help from others. America couldn't exist if she didn't trade. And there's no country on this earth that is independent. We depend upon Allah, and that's why we say inshallah. And that's very important that we never forget to say inshallah. Because when you do that, you are saying you are independent. I am going to see you tomorrow. That's an independent statement. We have to say inshallah. If it's in the plan of Allah, if it is the will of Allah, we don't have no independent to call a shot of what we're going to do tomorrow. And we depend upon each other's. You need me and I need you. That's called community life. We call it family life. Allah has made us social creatures where we have to depend upon each other. Even the greeting. And you probably don't think like this. We need each other for the greeting. If I say assalamu alaikum, I need somebody to say wa alaikum assalam. And if you do both of them, somebody going to put a straitjacket on you soon. Say something. You know, you say assalamu alaikum, then you run on this side and say wa alaikum assalam. Say check him, watch him. So we need each other, and Allah has made us like that. So our independence is limited. And that's what we have to put that word on there, limited. We are born out of all the creatures that Allah have created. We are born helpless than any other creature. If you study nature, you study animal, you study insect, there are many that are born ready to walk, ready to run. But the human being, when he's born, if you abandon him, he would die. You have to clean the baby up. The baby cannot clean itself. You would die in your own waste if somebody didn't come along and help you. Don't care how big you are today, how great you are today. We all started from an infant baby that needed some help. So this concept of us being independent, it can make us very arrogant, which is not an attribute of a believer. All leaders know they need people to support them. Leadership, membership. The head needs the body, and the body needs the head, and the head is still part of the body. That's why we say don't get big-headed like you floating in the air. Your head is connected to your body. So we need each other. Only Allah is independent. I want to share an episode, an incident that happened many years ago in a prison. This particular inmate was angry. His people had not been sending him money. His people had not been visiting him. He was just frustrated, angry. And I'm leaving the jail. I'm through for the day. And the officer came and got me and asked me, can you take some time up with this inmate? I said, well, we'll see. At this point, I don't know his nationality. I don't know his religion. And they showed me where he was, and I went approaching him. The first thing he did was he tried his best to spit on me. So I jumped back. He started calling me all kind of names, taking the frustration out on me. And I asked him one question. And his attitude was, I don't need nobody. That was his attitude. I said, if I can prove to you that you need somebody, can we at least pull up a chair and talk? He said, yeah. I said, let me ask you this. When you die, how you going to bury yourself? When you die, you're going to need somebody to bury you. He said, man, pull up a chair. We grow from baby to being a man. Man suggests you got your house, I have my house. That's a degree of independence from when you was a baby. But that's going to be a thing going on in that house. You're going to need another human being to help you. Whether it's plumbing, electrical work, carpentry, it doesn't matter. You got your own house. That's great. He has his house. That's like the nations. America's a nation. Morocco's a nation. Okay, but you still need each other. So we might have a higher degree of independence, but we never come out of the category of not needing some help and get into the category where we say we are all independent. Not tomorrow, but Sunday or Monday, we will go into our new Islamic New Year. Most of us, we know the New Year from January the 1st, but we don't pay much attention to our own independent Islamic New Year. We'll be coming from the year 1445 to 1446. And because we look for the new moon, it's a possibility it could be Sunday, but no later than Monday, we will be entering our new year. And that should be something grand for us. That should be something big for us, that our new year start in the month of July. I'm saying this in light of we have to take these things important. The world will not tell us. The world not going to tell us about our deen, our way of life. We have to know the year have changed. And by the way, our year is unique. Our new year start is unique. It starts with dawah, propagation. It starts with hijrah, leaving one place and going to another place. It starts from leaving Mecca, going to Medina. That's the point we start our new year. It's a verb. It's action. Moving is a verb. Hijrah is a verb. Dawah is a verb. So our religion, new year, begin in action. And you know, verb is a word that shows action. And again, we pray to Allah that our new year be our best year, that our new year be better than our previous year, and that we benefit from living another year and witness it through the transition. It's no lightly thing. Many Muslims have passed away and they won't see this new year. And it's not too late for one of us to die and still not see the new year. Let us close with dua. O Allah, surely we turn ourselves to you, being upright to you, who originated the heavens and the earth, and we are not of the polytheists. We have been unjust to our own selves, and we do confess our faults. You are our Lord, and we are your servants. Guide us to the best of morals and turn away from us the evil and indecent moral. Surely our prayers, our sacrifice, our life, and our death are all for you. Help us to worship you in the best manner. Help us to see you in the right light if we are seeing you in the wrong light. Oh Allah, help us to remember you. I mean. We praise Allah. We thank Him. We seek His mercy, His forgiveness. We seek His guidance and His help at every turn. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. We glorify Him. We praise Him. We witness nothing deserves to be worshipped with Him or in place of Him. And we witness that He is bigger, greater, and more important than anything else. else. Dear Muslim, we talked about the independence of America. But one of the things that we should understand in this independence of America, her birthday, that before America became a nation, and before America was discovered, Allah had America in his plan. Islam was already in America. Muslim was already living here. So Islam did not come to America through the slaves. These are free Muslims already in America. And we have to understand that these 13 original colonies, that was the first 13 state that made up what we call at that time America. The first of those states was Delaware. Muslim was already living there. Islam was already in America. We need to recognize that. Being independent means being on our own. But being on our own is limited. So this world gives us false definitions of certain terms such as freedom. Freedom can be good, but freedom also can be dangerous. We say freedom, there's a price for it. And that price is not free. One of the worst concepts is to believe that freedom is free. But freedom is limited. As Allah mentioned in the Quran, that the human being is born with limited free will, not unlimited. And man's independence is also limited. And these concepts are in the Quran. Whoever has the most freedom and whoever is the most independent is the one that has the most responsibility. We do not separate these terms from responsibility. So this false concept of freedom that many people have, such as free to get drunk, free to get high, free to party all day, freedom to sleep all day, freedom to do whatever we want to do. That's the dangerous concept of freedom. And there are people, they think it's heavy to make the statement, freedom to worship God in any way you see fit. That's dangerous. So again, Allah created us, and He is the one that give us our limitation. Allah spell out to us how to worship Him. He gave us a messenger to show us how to worship Him. So this concept of worshiping God any way you see fit does not fit in our faith. It does not fit in our way of life. So again, we have to have a healthy concept of freedom and a healthy concept of being independent. People talk about their rights and they hardly ever talk about their duties. And in Islam, we don't divorce rights from responsibility and duty. As a husband, I have rights, but I also have responsibility. They go hand in hand. Usually when a person don't have the freedom that you have, they have less responsibility, such as your children. Our small, minor children do not have the freedom that we have. Neither do they have the responsibility. As they grow up, their freedom increase because their responsibility increase. So be careful when you say you're freer than someone or you are more independent of someone, because you just open the door for more responsibility and more duty. I was on a talk show. A person said, you men in Islam are male chauvinistic. that I heard that when someone dies, that the woman get very little of inheritance and the man get most of the inheritance. She said, what do you have to say about that? I said, it's a very simple answer. The man get more because he got more responsibility than the woman. And what the woman is given is personally is hers. She have no responsibility to share it with nobody. But daddy, he got to share it with the wife, share it with the children, so he get more. Not because we think more of a man than we do a woman. So again, let us be careful about this big freedom we have in independent, and not talk about the duties that goes with it. I want you to try this with your children. If you haven't tried it, sometimes the children, they would test parents. They want to go into the refrigerator and they want to get whatever they want and they want to drink whatever they want. And you tell them, say, you have to check with your mother or you have to check with me. You just can't go in the freezer and get anything you want any time of the day and drink what you want. Usually they develop an attitude. Well, why I got to do it? Why I have to do it? You don't have to do it. Tell them, I bought the refrigerator and I bought everything in it. That's the answer. More freedom, more responsibility, more independence, more responsibility. I want to close this cookbook on this note, and you have to use your imagination. Everyone know what a W-2 form is. Everyone know about our IRS. And many of us, when we fill that form out, we got 15, 20, 25 dependents. And some of us, we don't have nobody, or maybe one or two. So I'm going to ask you the question. If you had to fill out a W-2 form for Allah, and the question is asked, how many dependents are you claiming? What's the number that goes in that? The whole entire creation is his dependent. You don't have a number that can fit in that figure about how many dependent are you claiming. And based on that, Allah says, I do whatever I want to do. And man in Quran is called a doer with let. What is doer with let? You have to do things based on someone allowing you to do it. Without that, you can't do it. Something as simple as a permit. Something as simple as a license. You can easily see man can only do things if he's allowed to do it. And that's coming from on high, from Allah on down to your government. But Allah, he don't have to ask anyone at any time for anything. He do whatever he like. What we have to do is learn to accept whatever his decree is. And that's not easy to accept sometimes, especially with no understanding. We are to accept his decree without any hesitation and without any understanding. And sometimes the understanding come later in life. Sometimes it never comes. It's simply that is what he decrees. We don't fuss, we don't argue, we embrace it, we accept it. And our attitude at that time should be that of a small child who can't read, who can't write, who is not in school, and they make a statement with boldness. They make a statement with strength, with emotionalism in it. And someone asked them, say, well, how do you know that? And Allah put in their nature to say, my daddy said it. My mama said it. Just replace mama and daddy with Allah. Allah don't make mistakes. He don't make errors. So whatever he decree, we have to learn to accept it. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, stay away from the word if, for it shows doubt. If I had went this way, if I had stayed home. So what are you saying? You could alter the decree of Allah. Sometimes you upset because you're running late and you hear on the news the bridge you had to go over collapse. I don't think you're upset no more. Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Glad I was late. So his action, his decision, we have to embrace it, especially when we have did all we can do. See, when we say inshallah, we don't use that to make it a halal lie. Well, brother, I said inshallah, but you didn't even try. No, the inshallah with all my effort, all my intention, if it didn't happen, then it must not have been Allah's will. I'm going to meet you at 5 Salat. Inshallah, making that a halal lie. You stayed up all night. You didn't set the clock. You didn't tell nobody to call you. Your gas on E in your car. You don't have your clothes out you're going to put on the next day. So tell me, how is that supported with inshallah? I got gas in my car, set the clock, I had somebody to call me, got my clothes out, and still the car wouldn't start. That's the inshallah. So the inshallah don't relieve you of your personal effort and your personal intention. But Allah said that's what we do. And then when somebody asks, I thought you were going to be there, brother. Didn't I tell you inshallah? Didn't I tell you that? No, stop acting stupid. Stop acting silly. So Allah requires us to do something. And the outcome is left up to Allah. But there's a duty on us to do certain things and just leave the outcome to Allah. And accept the outcome. And again, we're going to have dissatisfaction in our life. We're going to have problems in our life. We're going to have things that we didn't expect in our life. But our belief in Allah should ease all that. Make it easier to deal with. So that's the value of having faith versus you don't have no faith. Our religion starts with faith. It don't start with knowledge. Most of you don't know. When you say faith, it means I don't know it all. That's what it means. I don't know it. I got knowledge. I use it till it expires in this situation. So what we're going to do? Hey, it's in the hands of Allah. And sometimes we'll say that. Many people who work in the mechanic field, different field, they will even use that term when they do some work. I've did everything I know to do. Maybe if we do this. So what is now? What? Faith. I don't know. I don't know. That's what faith is all about. I don't know. But I trust God. I trust Allah. So again, our knowledge is limited. It's not independent of Allah's knowledge. Everything exists because of Allah, and it won't exist if Allah don't create it. So it exists only because Allah created it. We have to understand we're a small thing in this creation. We think we're a big thing. We're a small thing in this creation. And we never seen the entire creation. We never seen it in our life. No human being have seen the entire creation. You never went into a store to purchase a map of the creation. A map of Georgia, a map of America, a map of Asia, and even a world map, which is not the whole creation. There's no map exists called the map of the creation. And that's where trust comes in. You don't know everything. You haven't been everywhere. Someone called me concerning the Muslim that died on Hajj. And they said it in a way like this is the first time. And I reminded them, every year, every Hajj, Muslim die on the way. Muslim die on Hajj. And they die leaving Hajj to come back home. And that's never, ever going to stop. No Muslim go there to die, but the attitude is, if I die, what better death than trying to obey Allah? What better death than working and striving to fulfill the fifth pillar of Islam? That's the attitude, but nobody actually, I'm going hoping I die. We don't never supposed to hope for death. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said every human being should hope for long life. He said the evil and wicked one should hope for long life to get Allah's mercy and his forgiveness. And the good person should hope for long life, that he live long to do more good deeds. But everybody should wish for long life. So when we go on hard, we don't know if we're going to make it back. That's why we encourage you, take care of your business. Take care of all your paperwork before you go, because you may not come back. And we look at that as well spent money. We don't see that as wasted money. They had one lady they were interviewing on television. Some of her people, Muslim, they died. And all that money they wasted. See, that's the concept of a disbeliever. We make salat. Some people say, oh, that's just too much time to be wasted. For the believer, it's not wasted time. It's one of the best way I can spend some of my time is making my salat. And I tell believers all the time, the way we spell worship in Islam is W-O-R-K. Where there's no work, it's because there's no worship. And many people, they see us praying, and when we finish, they ask us, wait a minute, how many times a day you have to do that? 5 times a day. And that's just one prayer. Yeah. Oh my God. See, they looking at the word. They say, oh my God. For the rest of my life, oh my God. They looking at that. And they don't see worship. They see work. That's a lot of work. So you ask yourself, if you're not working, you're not worshiping Allah. So our religion is a very active religion. Either you active or you inactive. You either alive or you dead. And I don't know, have you met Muslims who tell you, I am a Muslim, but I'm not practicing right now. What kind of Muslim is that? So again, dear believer, we can do better. And we have to do better. We have to strive to do better. We have to realize we haven't reached the point of perfection in our religion. We can do better. And we have to have an attitude that I'm going to do better. And you don't determine progress if you don't know 2 points. First point, where I was. Second point, where I am. Based on that, I can determine my progress. And if you look at it sometimes, you may not have no progress. You're the same place you was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You haven't moved, frozen in time. No, if it's just 1/16 of an inch, it's progress. We don't want to regress. How can we do less of the day than yesterday? I heard people say this. Muslim, I was praying 5 times a day, and try to put it on the marriage. I was praying 5 times a day, brother. I married that sister, brother. I hardly ever pray, brother. And you think I believe that? No, you do better. Marriage is a thing help you to do better. It's a plus in your life. It's not a minor. And that's why we motivate Muslims to get married, because you will see your life. If you do it right, you will see your life get better. That it's greater being married than being by yourself. It's a motivating thing. So again, Muslim, Islam is a practice. That's what we tell people. It is a comprehensive way of life. It's a practice. And when you practice something, you are expected to get good at it. I don't care what you practice. I don't care what it is. You practice telling a lie, guess what? You're going to get good at it. You practice telling the truth, you're going to get good at it. You practice making your prayer, you're going to get good at it. You practice making your prayers late, you're going to get good at it. You practice making your prayer every now and then, you're going to get good at it. So that means be aware of what you practice. You practice not coming to the masjid, you're going to get good at it. You practice coming to the masjid, you're going to get good at it. Be aware of your action, because whatever you practice, that's what you're going to get good in. Let us close with dua. Oh Allah, we cannot manage our life for ourselves, not without you. Please make our life what you want it to be, what you prefer for it, and do not ever allow us to act on our own. Help us to act only in obedience to you. Oh Allah, we seek protection in you from misleading and from being misled, from betraying and from being betrayed, from oppressing ourselves and from others oppressing us, from pulling others into ignorance, and from being pulled into ignorance. O Allah, guide us among those whom you have guided. Preserve us among those whom you have preserved. Befriend us among those whom you have befriended. Bless us with what is lawful. Protect us from that that is not lawful. Surely whoever you honor can never be disgraced. We seek protection in you from a heart that has no faith, from a tongue that is not straight, from a mind that does not remember you, from knowledge that is not useful, from a soul that is ungrateful, and from a prayer that goes unanswered. Ameen.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya al-salah. Hayya al-falah. Qad qamat as-salat. Qad qamat as-salat. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
Dear believer, I've been having some problem with my right hip, and we're going to allow Imam Dawood to lead the salah. Make your line straight. Make your intention. Remember, the line is a symbol that you're lining up your hearts, and this line is a symbol of the straight way, the only way. Any other way is crooked. May Allah accept our salat and forgive us for any mistakes or errors.
You want a chair? Yeah, okay. No, we get one right here. Get him a chair. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا من المؤسرات ماء ثجاجا لنخرج به هبا والنباتا وجنات ألفافا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين
الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. القارية ما القارية وما أدراك ما القارية يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث وتكون الجبال كالإهن المنفوش فأما من تاكل موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية وأما من خفت موازينه فأمه هاوية وما أدراك ما هي نار هامية. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Announcements for today. Please remember to purchase a copy of Muslim Journal and buy some extra journals for our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated in DeKalb County Jail, and Brother Melvin will deliver them to the inmates. And the brothers and sisters, thank you in advance. Last week I gave out some misinformation, but I thought it was accurate at the time. But the Mosque Cares 35th Annual Muslim Convention is August 30th through September 1st, Labor Day weekend. It's a virtual convention. So you have to register at muslimconvention.net. Early registration is $150 until 7/31, and after that is $200 for vendors. Early vending registration is $50, and after that, 7/31 is $75. And here's a plug for the Muslim Journal. I don't know if you all are aware of it, but Muslim Journal is struggling financially. So we're trying to encourage all the believers to get a lifetime subscription. For $274 a day for 1 year, you can have a Muslim Journal lifetime subscription. See Sister Daia Muhammad outside at the AAII table. The large banner outside is to support our students studying Quran over in Senegal. For a lifetime subscription layaway plan for the Muslim Journal, 100 believers buy a subscription at $1,000 each. $1,000 times 100 believers is $100,000. $100,000 Muslim Journal prescriptions sold in 50 cities or states, $5 million. $5 million with the help of Allah. This is possible in 1 year when we unite our pennies. So 5 Muslim journals sold per week at $150, that's $7.50. $7.50 times 52 weeks is $390 a year. 500 believers at $390 is $195,000. $195,000 times 50 cities or states, that's $9,750,000. $9,750,000 in 1 year. We're trying to make this one of the best papers in the world, inshallah. The Muslima Consultative Group is having its 25th annual celebration fundraiser on Saturday, August 31st from 2 to 5 at Costly Mill Event Center in Conyers, Georgia. Go to muslimaconnection.org to register, and they have different levels of pledging, or if you want to be a contributor. Don't forget the Muslim Journals also Save the Date, a Time to Be Grateful conference hosted by Masjid Al-Ansar in Miami, Florida. That's December 19th through the 22nd. Early bird special sale June 1st to July 15th. Don't miss it. Florida in December. That's good. Assalamu alaikum.